Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Double Legacy Mewtwo at level 51. It is going to be a 15, 15, 14 as you can see here. It's too bad because I already powered this one up. I'm not powering up my 100. Maybe one day, but for now we're just going to be going with this one here. I think I might want to go with a Shadow after this to 50 because it is that stinking good. We're going to be pairing it up with Zacian and Melmetal for this entire video here. And I'm telling you, this Zacian is just amazing. So I am going to be going with Quick Attack for a while here. I'm going to change it to Snarl, I think, at the end for my last set because Quick Attack works good, but there were situations where I just kind of needed Snarl. That extra little bit of damage to Mewtwo or whatever was going to be helping out quite a bit. Alright, so Double Legacy Mewtwo here. It is amazing. One of the best Pokemon, if not the best in the game, period, to own. And it's just amazing. So that was a nice catch. What is this, the legend that we're going up against? They threw at me for the first battle here? Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go for Shadow Ball here. It's going to be doing a lot of damage, taking out their Metagross. They are shieldless at this point. And again, if you do enjoy my videos, make sure you hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. Bringing in their Garchomp here. Earth Power is not going to be quite enough to take us out, but we're going to go ahead and shield it up. And they do have Mud Shot, which is going to be farming up a little bit faster than Dragon Tail. Well, quite significantly faster. Taking them out, and they have a Mamoswine in the back. Going to be going for another Psy Strike here. Absolutely hard-hitting move here. And then it's always going to be nice to have that Shadow Ball. Now, you can always go with Focus Blast if you don't want to use a Elite TM for your Shadow Ball. You're going to always want Psy Strike, period. So if you have one of those and you're looking at powering them up, and for whatever reason it doesn't have Psy Strike, you definitely are going to want to make sure it does have that. Next battle, we're met with another Legend. Okay. Swapping into our Mewtwo because it's not a great lead up against Togekiss with that hard-hitting quick move damage. Swapping into their Giratina, and we're going to go straight for that Shadow Ball. And if we can land this, it's perfect. At this point, we do not need to go for another Shadow Ball. We can simply go for the Psy Strikes because it's just not needed. This is going to be enough to take them out. Shielding it up, and I do believe we're going to shield this up as well. Kind of a last-second thought there. We're going to have to outpace them in. Unfortunately not, so I think we're going to just double shield our Mewtwo to see if we can win the swap advantage here. Do they want to use that last shield? Building up a little bit of extra energy so we can hit something with Psy Strike potentially. Not really going to probably go for Shadow Ball. And we're not making it to the Psy Strike, unfortunately. But we did what we wanted to do, and that's win the alignment up against that Togekiss. And they're bringing in their Garchomp, swapping into our Zacian, and this is looking amazing. Another reason why I want to go with Play Rough. We're not going to be in a bad position here. Close Combat's still going to be able to do it for us if we needed it to, but Play Rough is not going to have any sort of debuff, and it's super effective to them, and at this point we can farm them down, building up a lot of energy here. Going to go for another Play Rough, and we're looking great. Zacian has been one of the best assets to rising up in my ELO so far with a consistent team. This thing is amazing. I mean, it's definitely one of the tops. All right, so we're swapping into our Melmetal here up against that Togekiss. Going for the Rock Slide, building up a little bit of extra energy, and I think I go for a Super Power here, just because we can do that up against the Togekiss right about now and take that win. All right, looking good. Not the best lead, but we're able to pull that one off up against that Legend. Next battle, we're going to be met with a Garchomp with that Zacian, and we're leading with Zacian the entire time in the front here. We do swap the back line out, which not changing them, but just reordering them so we can pull up different Pokemon, and yes, that is a thing. All right, so we're going to be getting a shield from them with that Play Rough. Great. We don't really have to worry about them taking us out with one shot or anything. And they're going for an Earth Power, swapping into their Metagross. And we're going to go ahead and bring in our Mewtwo here. We can take a Meteor Mash, but we can also slightly outpace them with the Shadow Ball here. So let's see if we can do that. Building up a little bit extra beyond the Shadow Ball and going for the first one. This will one-shot them if they let it go. And they're deciding to use both shields. Unfortunately, I was wrong about outpacing them. So we're going to have to shield this up, but that's okay. So what we're going to do at this point, farm up a little bit more. Probably could have built up more energy at this point, but that's all right. Taking them out, one-shotting them, and we still have some residual energy. Gonna go for the Psy Strike on the Garchomp here, and that Mud Shot's really not going to cut it as far as farming us down. So we're going to swap into our Zacian, and they immediately bring in their Excadrill to catch a potential something, but we're going for Close Combat, which is just about one-shotting that thing, and they're not farming us down, just about, but they're surviving with about 1 or 2 HP. We're going to bring in our Mewtwo to Psycho Cut them down and get off a Psy Strike, although this Garchomp does have energy built up here. So an Earth Power is going to be doing quite a bit to the Melmetal, and they're farming us down Do they have Dragon Tail? Yeah. Whoops. Did I miscall that the entire time? Yeah. Well, that's a Dragon Tail Garchomp. Okay. All right. Anyways, going for the superpower, taking that win. And an Earth Power simply wouldn't have been enough. It would have been very close, I do believe, but not enough. Next battle met with another Garchomp. What do you know? Let's get it. And they're going to be swapping into a Sylveon. So this is an amazing fairy to see when you're using Melmetal because there's really nothing that this Sylveon can do. So of course, when you're in this position here, you definitely want to come out of it with a lot of energy. I'm talking about upwards towards 60 or so energy. You definitely want that to happen. Okay, so going for another Rock Slide. We are going to not hit all those bubbles because we want to farm them down. And this is just the perfect amount. So sure, Sylveon's moves are all going to be resisted, but it is going to be able to kind of spam over time if we are just sitting here trying to gain a bunch of energy. So we're coming out of this with a whole lot. Going to go straight for that superpower. What did they throw into the battle? It is going to be a Garchomp. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and retreat, because we do have the Mewtwo that can also handle the Garchomp because Side Strike just does so much. Bringing in the Zacian, they're going for that Sand Tomb, waiting for them to potentially swap, but if they're not, they're going to stay into the fight here. We're going to go straight for that Play Rough. Now, if they hit us with a Earth Power, that's essentially going to one-shot us now because they did debuff our defense here. So we're going to go ahead and shield it up, but they hit me with another Sand Tomb. Waiting for them to catch, but there is none. So we're going to go ahead and throw that Play Rough on our shieldless opponent, taking out that Garchomp. And what do they have at the back? And a Melmetal. Let's go. Can we get to the close combat? Rock Slide's not going to be enough, and we're still holding on to one shield, as well as our Melmetal with a ton of energy. So we're great. Doesn't look like Mewtwo's going to do a single thing for this battle here. Not that it's, obviously it's great, but it just simply wasn't needed. Mewtwo showcase without actually having it in the battle, and I think that's going to occur a couple of times throughout this video here because of that Zacian lead. Alright, so look at this esport ready game. Their Xerneas is just sitting here. They do have a bunch of quick move animations here in a bit, but I don't think they're really caught up to us, and we have a massive energy advantage. But let's see if our opponent can pull this one through here. I know it's, ooh, you're so good, Poke. You got a bunch of energy advantage over them. Like, I get it. I know. Let's just see what happens here. So we let that go, calling it. It is going to be a close combat. And they do have a little bit of extra energy, I do believe, on that Xerneas. Bringing in a Genesect, and we're going to go ahead and just start throwing these close combats, doing as much as we can here, and then swapping into our Melmetal. Now, during those times where I was going for the close combat, I was taking that opportunity to see what that Genesect type was going to be. And I did see no red, so I know we're safe to go, bringing in our Melmetal here. And it is, in fact, going to be the Ice Genesect, so resisting everything here. Great. If it was going to be the fire one, that does a whole lot of damage. Alright, so we're going to be coming out of this with energy. They have a Xerneas in the back, or a Yveltal, and a Xerneas, yes, they do. They're going to be backing out there. Mewtwo, again, didn't make up an appearance. Next battle, met with a Mewtwo. Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Just about everybody's going to have a double legacy going on here. There is the occasional Focus Blast and Ice Beam. And it usually occurs when I have double steel in the back is when the Mewtwo does have Focus Blast, or if I'm going with a double dragon is when their Mewtwo has Ice Beam. That's just the way it works. Alright, so we've gotten their shields here, going for that Side Strike, going for another Play Rough, and see if we can get their shield, or at least do a decent amount of damage here. So Quick Attack or Snarl, which one do you want to go on with Zacian? I mean, they're both pretty good. With the experience today with Quick Attack, I'm not really thinking, oh, it's so horrible. It's just, there's a lot of situations where if I had Snarl, I could have been able to do more damage to the Giratinas in certain spots, because this team is somewhat vulnerable to Giratina slightly here. We do have the Zacian with Play Rough, but that thing is going to be pretty nasty. We did showcase it, the king of ghost types, and there it is as we speak. Alright, so we're going to shield up this Ominous Wind so we can get to the Shadow Ball on the shieldless opponent here. And I think we're going to want to swap. See, at this point, we could have swapped into our Zacian and farmed them down with Snarl, just about, at least pretty close. But unfortunately, we have Quick Attack that's not very effective, so I'm forced to go into here with the Melmetal. At least we're getting off that Rock Slide before they can hit a charge move. Bringing in that Togekiss, they back out, we take the win, and we move on to our next opponent. Let's see what we're going to be met with the Zacian, if I can speak correctly here, stumbling over my words. And we're met with the Togekiss, swapping into Mewtwo right off the bat here. I'm not trying to play that game. If we had Wild Charge, sure, but I'm not trying to take all that charm damage. At least Mewtwo's going to be able to really put on the pressure with that spammy Side Strike here. So going for another one. Do they want to shield it up again? Let's see what they do. And they are using both shields on that Togekiss. At this point, I'm thinking, as much as I wanted to shield up this Mewtwo, we're going to go ahead and let it go. Hopefully get to another Side Strike. Unfortunately not. So of course, we're going to be bringing in the Melmetal. And you already know they're going to have a counter to that in the back. And what is it going to be? They swap to catch right on time. Going for the Rock Slide, and it is a Mewtwo. That's perfectly fine. I mean, hey, we'll take it there. So now we're going to be able to one-shot them basically with the Play Rough. It should be very close. Alright, shielding up that first Ice Strike. They are shieldless, going for the Play Rough on our Zacian here. Still have that quick attack. And taking out the Mewtwo. Great. That's beautiful. Bringing in their Togekiss. And we have one shield. We can let this go. We're going to go ahead and call it. Flamethrower, that's perfectly fine, but it is going to be an ancient power here. Let's see. Going for the Play Rough, which will KO. Zacian on fire over here. Let's go. Taking down the Togekiss, and we have a Mamoswine in the back. Going to be able to get to the close combat, and this will pretty much one-shot it. And that's going to be about a wrap. Shadow Mamoswine cannot take a hit, but it hits very hard. That thing is just disgusting when it comes to damage. Alright, so that's going to be our first set there, folks. Threw a bunch of legends at us for whatever reason. Still got a 5-0. And it's not to, you know, if I talk about legends in a bad way, it's in a joking matter. I mean, personally, don't know any of these people. Maybe I do, but, you know. Anyways, next battle, another Garchomp, just like we wanted. Beautiful. They're going to be swapping into a Mewtwo, which kind of threw me off, stumped me a little bit. I'm thinking, okay, we'll let this go, hit the Play Rough, swap into a Mewtwo. But what's that going to do? We're going to go for the close combat. I'm thinking, they're going to shield it up. They let it go. I'm like, what? Come on. Are you freaking kidding me? All right, so right off the bat, we're already going to lose. Almost top left at this point. Of course, they're going to go for a Shadow Ball. They go for a Side Strike. Of course. What? Are you serious? So I've shielded up a Side Strike, which I should have called because they definitely didn't have that energy. I don't know what I was freaking thinking there. So, yep, that's my bad. Swapping back into the Garchomp, going for the Side Strike, getting their first shield. Now, Earth Power is going to not KO. Outrage will, but they have, what is that, Dragon Tail? So, yeah, I don't think they're going to be going with Outrage. Usually going to be going with Sand Tomb and Earth Power for the charge moves if they do have that quick move, right? Farming me down, which is not a good situation here. They're immediately swapping into a Togekiss, which was our win con. That was it. They could have taken that win, and it was not looking great for us here. Then again, it really depends. It really depends. So at this point, what's going to happen is we're going to take them out as quick as possible so we can start hitting these superpowers. And the Zacian has a decent amount of health left and does resist that Dragon Tail, so we do have the potential to get to a charge move. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. It is a freaking Earth Power. But what's going to happen is we're going to build up to 2 close combats. And this is the power of Quick Attack here. I mean, Snarl farms up just about as quick. It's not like a massive difference here. It's very minuscule. And like I said, I personally prefer Snarl. So we're getting to the first close combat, getting to the next close combat, and then we're taking that win. I thought we were going to lose that after screwing up and not calling things, and they called correctly by not shielding up, but we're still able to pull that one through. Next battle, met with an Obstagoon. This put a big smile on my face. Now, we personally have used a level 51 Obstagoon in the Open Master League, and honestly, it works pretty stinking good. You can wall a lot of things. Well, at least when it comes down to Mewtwo, you're definitely going to be walling that. Side Strike's still doing a decent amount of damage. You'll see that here in a bit. And I was thinking this whole stinking time, I bet you they're going to hit me with a Gung Shot. I should have shielded that freaking thing up. Why not? They shielded up. We should have used a shield as well. But of course, I had to be stingy. They swap into their Dialga. I go for the Rock Slide thinking that they're going to shield it up. But they don't. They let it go. So that's freaking lovely. Now their Obstagoon is going to come in here and do a whole bunch of counter damage. We'll have to see what they do decide to bring in here. I actually don't think they do bring that in because they know we have the superpowers, which are going to take them out fairly quick. Well, they're going to one-shot the Obstagoon. It's a dark and normal type at this point. It's going to just easily get taken out. Bringing in a Zacian, going for a Rock Slide. I think I'm looking at the clock here, waiting for it to swap. Okay, there it is. Maybe I'm going to try to catch. Unfortunately not. Still 2 shields. We're going to hold on to this Melmetal here because it does have energy built up. They go for a close combat, and now we're going to be doing more damage here. Now, the reason why I wasn't hitting those bubbles is because I wanted to farm them down after they did debuff themselves, but I figured they're going to be swapping here. It doesn't really matter. They were shielding it up. Now let's see how much the Side Strike does up against Obstagoon's Dark type. So there you go. Still doing a decent amount while the Obstagoon's counter is going to be resisted. Night Slash is doing a decent amount as well. They're going to be able to hit that pretty fast here when they do build it up with that counter, and we're going to be able to just survive these next counters no problem at all. Going for another Side Strike. It is coming down to the wire. It's not like we're going to be able to win this here. Letting that Gung Shot go in the beginning was my biggest mistake. So hitting me with the Night Slash, still holding on to 1 shield. They have 0 themselves. They swap back into their Zacian. I bring in my Melmetal, and I'm thinking, yeah, they're going to beat me. I can't believe this was the way it went. I mean, that Gung Shot really took me by surprise, and, well, it looks like you're going to be able to take this win here. And they're going to be able to farm me up. I'm thinking, great, lovely. But the Zacian able to quick move them down, and we take the win. Let's go. That was a close one. Next battle, we're met with a Dragonite, who you better believe this is going to be a great lead here. They're going to be swapping into an Excadrill. Now, I don't particularly have a great answer for that. Sure, Mewtwo's okay, I guess. Not really. Shadow Ball's just doing a decent amount. Even Scythe Strike. Melmetal's going to be able to do a lot with Superpower, but I don't really want to lock myself in here right now. So we're just going to go ahead and close combat them up. Let's see if we can get these shields here. Now we shield this one up. So you want to let the first drill run go and hit close combat after they go for the first drill run, because once you go for the close combat, you lower your stats, therefore taking more damage. So you just let that first one go and then hit them after that. It's kind of like having a third shield. All right, so bringing in the Mewtwo, and they're going to be swapping, and we go for the Shadow Ball, and they're catching. What was that? Dragonite. That kind of annoyed me. I was like, you. That was a good catch, but you. All right, going for a Scythe Strike. They're going to be letting it go because they got no more shields. Pay attention to the shield there, Poke. Okay. And they're going to have a Metagross in the back here. Unfortunately, not getting to a Shadow Ball or any charge moves for that matter. Zacian is going to be taking super effective damage from that steal. So what are we going to do here? Bring in the Melmetal. Now, they're going to be going for Earthquake. We're going to have to shield this up. I guess we can call it, but better be safe than sorry. And it is going to be an Earthquake that would have done a whole lot of damage. They swap into an Excadrill here, kind of using it as a third shield. So there you go, taking that damage, down they go, and we swap it to our Zacian here, hoping we can get to a close combat, and we do right at the last second. Now the Melmetal has energy built up. They're not quite at Earthquake here, very close. We're going to hit that Superpower right off the bat, or this could be Earthquake. I think they do have enough, but it's not going to be enough to take us out, and we get to the Superpower to take that win with the Melmetal at the end. Let's go. Let's keep it moving here. What are we going to see? Another Garchomp? No. Oh, okay. Well, this is not good at all. Close combat resisted. Play rough resisted. Now, what we can do is play mind games to make them think that we have Wild Charge by building up to do close combats, because they're essentially the same energy at the same time to build up that. But go for the play rough. We have Melmetal, which can handle that with the Rock Slide. It's going to do a whole lot of damage. Getting a shield, all I really wanted to do. They swap into their Giratina, as I do bring in our Mewtwo here. Don't want to go in with the Melmetal because I already know they're going to be, countering me here, and this is not a particularly great matchup for the Melmetal whatsoever. It's not horrible for the Mewtwo. I mean, it's not great. You're taking all this damage, calling the Ominous Wind, and getting to the Shadow Ball. This is big here. We needed to hold on to that last shield for the Ho-Oh because, well, they're going to hit us with Sacred Fire, and that's going to pretty much take out our Melmetal in one shot. Well, it's going to do a lot of damage. Bringing in the Zacian, going for the close combat, just trying to bide my time here. Looks like they're surviving, which is ridiculous, and that's another reason why I wanted Snarl. One of the reasons why I did change it, and they're taking me out with their Shadow Ball. So it's all up to the Melmetal with one shield left. Bringing in a Ho-Oh, and I'm waiting for them to catch here. Of course, we're going to have to shield this up, and I'm thinking, please have a Dialga in the back. You're going to have a Dialga in the back. Thank goodness they didn't catch. Going for a Rock Slide. This is going to do a lot of damage. Not quite taking them out, but this is even better because we're able to farm them down, and their Quick Move was not even going to register, and it is a Dialga in the back. Getting to 2 superpowers, and that's about a wrap. We're going to have to hit them with one more Quick Move to take them out, so it's going to be very close after this here, but it's not like they're getting to a Draco. And a couple more Quick Moves, and we take the win. Okay, good game. Moving on to our next opponent. Met with a Mewtwo. Well, there you go. Let's see how this works out. Don't particularly like this matchup, really. Especially with the quick attack. It's just not great. Mewtwo is just a little uneasy here for you. It just spams too hard. If you're not resisting it, you're going to have a hard time. Or if you're not doing super effective damage like with your Giratina or something like that. But at the same time, you got to look out for Shadow Ball. So we're going to see if we can catch a Scythe Strike here. And we do. That's so good, catching it. Saving ourselves a shield. And we're up a shield, and they've used one. Bringing in their Giratina here. Of course, this is going to be an Ominous Wind, but I don't want it to go down. I want to obviously hit the Shadow Ball. We could have survived barely, and I'm thinking maybe we can get to one more Scythe Strike here before they get to an Ominous Wind, and we are going to be able to win CMP up against everything, because that's just what the Mewtwo does. Unless it's what Deoxys attack, which you're not going to see any of those. All right, so we're taking them out. Bringing in Togekiss, and the alignment is just beautiful, folks. Bringing in that Melmetal, and we're looking just perfect here. Going for the Rock Slide. Let's see if we can take them out before they hit their charge move. And if they get to it, then it's going to be Ancient Power. If they're not able to, great. Let's see if they want to let it go or use that last shield. And they're going to be using that last shield. Sounds good to me. Flamethrower is going to be doing a decent amount of damage here, but we're going to go ahead and call it, and it is just an Ancient Power, so thank goodness we did that. Bringing in their Mewtwo, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a chip damage here. And I do believe we're just going to stay here with the Melmetal. As long as we can get to another Rock Slide, we're going to be looking pretty good to take them out. So we're going to go ahead and shield it up. They're hitting a Shadow Ball, which is great, using up even more energy. and going for another Rock Slide, which is going to be able to take them out here. Great, looking good, and Togekiss is not going to be able to farm us down or get to a charge move. They back out, and we take that win, and we're moving it on to our next opponent. What are we going to see with that Zacian and Giratina? Okay, another reason why I want to go with the Snarl. Now we have it. Now you can see the different animation here. Much better, much more comfortable. I mean, look at that damage in comparison, and you're getting just about the same amount of farm. Like I said, they're both good. I just prefer Snarl. Anyways, going for the play rough here, and this is great that they're letting it go here. And we're going to go ahead and swap to see if we can just catch an Ominous Wind. I would think that they were going to go for that. Perfect, and we do. They're going to be bringing in their own Melmetal here. Now, we do have a little bit of an energy advantage at this point, and the thing about the Melmetal mirror matches is you're waiting for whoever to throw their first superpower. And they're going for a Rock Slide. Alright, so they go for about 2 Rock Slides here. They bait me like a couple of times. We do call that first one. Although I wasn't really worried about a superpower at that point, so it wasn't really a call, it was just letting it go. So we're just throwing all of our energy over here. I mean, we debuffed ourselves by 2 stages at this point. We shield up, and it is another Rock Slide. They got me. Okay, so we've lowered our attack by 2 stages now, so we're not going to be doing as much, but they're still shielding it up and holding on to that Melmetal. I would assume they're going to go for a superpower at this point, and that's exactly what they do, but they're shieldless, so we're looking pretty okay. We can bring in the Mewtwo and kind of absorb these Rock Slides. Not like we can do it all day, but they've debuffed themselves, so it's not going to be doing the most. And we're going to go ahead and just take them out right away. As much as I wanted to build up more energy, we kind of need to hold on to our health for now. They're shieldless, and a Mewtwo with a double legacy. Yeah, let's have a little fun. Unless they have Yveltal, yeah, that's not a situation you want to be in with your Mewtwo. Unless you have Ice Beam. They're going to be catching with their Togekiss, and we're going to be getting to a play rough with the Zacian as we do throw it up against the Togekiss, taking them out. And they're going to be able to farm up with 1 Shadow Claw, and I'm just thinking you're going to get to 2 Ominous Winds. They got 2. This is it. We're not going to be able to pull this off, but Mewtwo getting to the Side Strike and taking the win. Folks, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on, and Double Legacy Mewtwo for the win. Take care.
Sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!